Lone Star Rocker here on a Monday. Got the day off, and so I figured today I'd go hang out at the Boy Scout Museum, which just so happens to be in Irving. Let's go hike around and check it out. All right, so that's pretty wild that they have this here in Irving, Texas. It's a whole museum about Boy Scouting. So I was in the Boy Scouts. You know, wasn't in the Cub Scouts or anything, but the Boy Scouts, and it was a lot of fun, believe it or not. Had a lot of great times. Let's go on and check this out. It should be interesting. I guess it's free. Hey, how's it going?
Hi, how can I help you?
It's the museum.
Museum? Alright, so Trailblazer rifle range.
Oh, wow.
Just right here next to a derby car racetrack.
Okay.
We have an art gallery, which is a separate room, but pictures are welcome everywhere.
Okay, good. Excellent.
Have fun.
Thank you. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Cool here, huh? It's got some Norman Rockwell imagery in here. It should be cool. It's a pretty fancy museum. A little snack area back there. The majestic eagle. Whoa! Alright, got my sticker. Woohoo! We're gonna rock it. The Norman Rockwell Gallery. Let's check it out. Norman Rockwell did a lot of artwork for the Boy Scouts. Pretty wild. Interesting stuff here. Norman Rockwell's cool. He's so good in here with the lighting. Not too shabby. It's pretty nifty. These oil paintings. Those are reprints, but a lot of cool stuff, man. It's very classic Americana. These Boys Life magazines. Pretty awesome. This Order the Arrow stuff. Very secretive. I got my Order the Arrow. Hayden Edward Wallace. Acrylic on canvas. Pretty nice. There he is up there. Yeah, taking photography for his images. Pretty cool, man. Super guy. Was born in New York City in 1894. Developed his style and earned a reputation for humorous and sentimental depictions of the youth. Pretty cool. Goodman at Gettysburg. This is a pretty cool little art gallery in here. Let's press on. We're gonna hike on through this place. So, yeah. Founders. Okay, let's go in here and check this out. Yeah. It's a giant carved car. Be prepared. Yes. Alright, so what do we got here? Hank Aaron. Let's see, Hank Aaron was a Boy Scout. Yep. John Glenn. Walt Disney. Alright. Good old Walt Disney was a Boy Scout. Pretty cool. Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter was a Boy Scout. With this super old Boy Scout uniform. Let's see if I can get this just right here. Maybe it's a little better with the lighting here. Yeah, look at that. Look at this super old Boy Scout stuff, man. There's some old pins in there. Man, that is really old school stuff. Old Bowie knife. Yep. You know, you can say what you want about Boy Scouts, man, but to be a kid and be able to handle a knife like that was ultimately fun. Super awesome. 1940s. That, the World's Fair, 1940s. That is awesome. It's the 1950s here. Oh, that's a great book right there, man. Yeah, 1970s to 1980s. Getting into space stuff. Pretty cool. Got some patches up there. Space camp patches, maybe. 1990s. Present day. Those old school patches up there. You can see pretty good. Look at that. Merit badges. More updated gear. The knives have changed dramatically since back then. That's awesome. Lord Robert S.S. Baden-Powell. Interesting stuff about this guy, huh? Wood carvings. Supposed to be the guy that kind of got it going for the Boy Scouts here, huh? That's him right there. Ernest Thompson Sutton, the first Chief Scout of the Boy Scouts of America. Philmont Museum. I got my Philmont shirt on. Yep, some of this stuff came from New Mexico. Old peace pipe. Yep, Chief Scout Executive James Edward West. Supposed to be some of his gear. Oh, what is this? Boy Scouting in other parts of the world. Far out, man. Here's some Korean Boy Scouts of Korea. Some Russian Boy Scouts up there. Far out, Israel. This is cool. Love these old pins, man. Lord Robert Baden-Powell. There's interesting artwork here, mostly watercolor. Oh, I find myself outside all of a sudden. Amigo. Ah, show me the way. This way. So this place is pretty cool, you have to admit. All the theming is pretty amazing. We're gonna press on. This guy. So, what happens?
That's Ojibwe for hello, how are you? As scouts, we can learn a lot from Native Americans. They live their lives in the outdoors, learning from nature. And learning is what our quest is all about. Not book learning or about how to make a living, but learning how to live.
I guess this is some kind of map. This is where we're going, man. Go a little slower with the camera. Scout Reservation Trail. rifle that they would shoot here. Get their marksmanship badges. Different type of shotguns and 22s, I guess is what those are. Some kind of little laser rifle range here. Give me a token. This looks fun. Some Cub Scout stuff in here. I was never in the Cub Scouts. I just kind of skipped all that. The theming in here is pretty amazing, I have to admit. But leave it up to the Boy Scouts. They like to build things. Look at all these old little wood carvings. Oh man, look at those. Look how elaborate they get, man. That is so cool. Some wood carvings. Man, sit around the campfire and carve up something. Gonna sit around the old campfire. Tell me a story of the one-armed man. Yes, I love canoes. If there's anything I got from scouting, it's how to canoe. I've canoed a lot. This old canoe here. This is pretty cool, man. I feel like I'm like at Disney World or something for Boy Scouts. Maybe they do demonstrations up here. Simulation. You can simulate being in a canoe. Paddle, paddle.
Ideally, the paddle shaft is nearly vertical. Keep your lower arm straight and pull against the shaft to slide the canoe forward.
This is fun. The adventure. You know, it's one of the things I was really into was the adventure aspect of Boy Scouts. That's all I wanted to do was go camping all the time. Venturing Values Cave. Look at this, pretty wild in here. There's some scouts that go on to become doctors or work in hospitals. A lot of scouts go into the military. Interesting awards here. This place is pretty wild. I never thought it would be like this amazing in here. Order of the Arrow. Getting Order of the Arrow was a big deal for me. National Honor Society of Scoutings. That's what the Order of the Arrow was. Look at these old lodge patches, man. I have my lodge patch. Some of these in Florida patches.
Became an official part of the Boy Scouts of America in 1948. The Order of the Arrow was acknowledged as Scouting's National Honor Society in 1998.
National Honor Society of Scouting.
To include emphasis on leadership development.
Pretty cool.
Adventurous programs.
Super old painting, man. Wow, that's cool.
Indian ceremonies add meaning to the election of OA members. For the next few minutes, we'll provide an overview of the Order of the Arrow and how this brotherhood of honor campers crystallizes the scout habit of helpfulness into a life purpose of cheerful service to others.
Super old What are the arrow patches, man? I wonder how old those are. Probably find some Florida patches. Some Texas Lodge patches as well. Pretty swanky Indian headdress here. Makes you wonder how old some of this stuff goes back. Daniel Carter beard. Good old Danny.
Howdy! Glad you could come by and talk to old Uncle Dan today. Nothing like having some good company while in the woods. I'm just sharpening my axe a little. A sharp axe is a safer axe. But you know that, don't you? I trust you've all earned your totem chip card already.
Yes, sir.
Out here in the woods, it's important to have those skills.
Some old knots. I used to know how to tie knots. Now I've lost all that knowledge. It's a good refresher. An old tout line hitch. 2 half hitches. Some super old gear here. Old hatchet. First aid kit. I don't know what they needed the basket for. I guess that's what they would use for backpacks. Wow. It's an old sewing kit. Got this old mess table right here. See, and you just pack everything up inside, pack it up, and bring it with you, man. Set it up for camping. Super old desk set up here. You can fold this up, bring it with you. Some old pocket knives. Those are cool, man. Those old Boy Scout knives. Look at that, it's wild. Man, I have some of my old scouting stuff, but it's not as cool. Look at that knife right there. Some more gear about 1950s. So back in the 1950s, that's what your backpack would look like. Huh. Kind of a wooden frame back there. It's cool. Oh, and they were still doing the peach cobbler. Really a cool place to hang out. I'm surprised it's not more busy. It is Monday. This is one of the only museums that I could find that was open on Monday. So fast here. Passport to high adventure. Philmont. This is where it was at for me, right here. I think once I climbed Mount Baldy, I was done. That's the tooth of time right there. Climb up that. That's awesome. We used to do this stuff for fun. That Florida High Adventure Sea Base. Snorkeling, diving. That's why I got into Scouts, was the high adventure stuff. I just wanted to rappel, go mountain climbing. I wanted to see bears. Nature instructor, I guess in Canada. Huh. It's really neat. The Klondike Derby. Those old sleds. Wow. Too cold for me. This museum just keeps going. Really wild. Pretty cool. Getting into, I guess, the Eagle Scouts here. All these awesome patches. I think they're in alphabetical order. Here's Alabama, Florida. Gulfstream Council right here. Florida. So yeah, there's some ones there, but nothing that I recognize. I became a Life Scout, and that was good enough for me. I did not pursue an Eagle Scout, which I could have become an Eagle Scout. I just didn't want to put the effort and time in. It is a lot of work. Those are all the merit badges that you can earn. Look at them all. It's wild. And this is why some Eagle Scouts go on to become presidents and leaders and whatnot, because they're just so well versed in so many things. But I had life-saving right there. Photography, which I can't find anywhere. And computers, camping, hiking. Those are my merit badges. Computers, isn't that weird? These are interesting. These are stories where scouts have done honorable things. Nicholas Carone, heroism and life-saving. Super guy. This guy down here, Mark Elliott, with Mr. and Mrs. Mark Elliott. Super guy. Don't know what he did though. Probably rescued somebody. Some Eagle Scout gear. Some pretty cool little patches. Yay! The space is like an old billboard, I guess. It's pretty cool. This billboard seen here is a replica of one that has been part of the National Scouting Museum collection. This is way cool in here. Some kind of bird up there looking at me. Zoom in on the bird. Quack, quack. So there's like nobody in here. I got this whole place to myself, but this is pretty great, have to admit. I'm glad I trucked over here. It's worth it, I would say. Definitely, it's free, totally free, and this place is amazing. All right, so I think that's the museum. Kind of pressed through it pretty quick. I think there's a gift shop, so let's go and check it out. Get some old Scout gear. Very cool little gift shop here where you can get gear. Pretty neat. Get all your different knives you need here. I really enjoyed that. Scout oath. On my honor, I will do my best. This is pretty cool in here. They got all the motto, loyalty, helpful, above here. I really like this space. All right, so that was the Boy Scout Museum. Definitely better than I thought it would be. I was a Boy Scout, so I thoroughly enjoyed that. So anyway, I'm gonna truck on home, throw together these videos, try to upload something cool to watch. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I want you to have the most rockin' day.